Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the FCS Football channel. And today we are back. Obviously, we was live not too long ago, but we are here live for Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest match preview. Obviously, in the Carabao Cup semi-final. Obviously, we won the first leg 3-0. We go straight over to it. And we did win the first game 3-0. We come into the game at Old Trafford knowing really we're going to win this game. Adidas are being cryptic. Thrown me after all the Marcel Sabitzer stuff. Back to the preview. The thing that actually matters right now. So unfortunately, we won't be doing a watch long for this game. If we go back over to the watch long screen, there will be no watch long for the game tomorrow, as I'll be busy, unfortunately. But it's all right. It's all right because we should be done and dusted in this tie, as I mentioned previously, and we'll go back on to now. We're 3-0 up, going to Old Trafford against Nottingham Forest. There is no way Manchester United should be dropping points in this one. No chance. We should be winning this game at Old Trafford, let alone making it through to the final of the Carabao Cup. The fact that the Carabao Cup still has two legs, the semi-final, is bizarre. Make it one leg. But, look, we should qualify. And that's the kind of the moral of this story, isn't it? The game should be done and dusted thanks to that 3-0 at the City ground. Obviously, in our last game, Manchester United, we did beat Reading 3-1. A bit of Brazilian magic, Brazilian excellence. Casemiro getting 2 goals and Fred scoring the third. That all being said, Anthony, he was also in the action. He got the assist for Casemiro's first. So Fred also got the assist for Casemiro second. Brazilian excellence in that game for Manchester United, which is why we won that game, really. But we deserve to win the game. Moments of quality certainly won us it. But, as I say, United deserved to win the game. We were the better team throughout. You look at the goals, they were quality goals. The first goal, brilliant run from Anthony, slots through Casemiro, who's made an equally good run, who delightfully chips it over. Was it Joe Lumley? Was that his name? The second goal, Casemiro, absolute banger, screamer. Yes, it took a bit of a deflection, but it was an absolute howitzer, as they say. And then you had the final goal, which was Fred. Delightful little flick from a corner. 3 top quality goals from Manchester United in what was a well-deserved win and qualification to the next round, where we now play West Ham. That being said, obviously, we did concede from a corner. Look, I've seen a lot of people saying it's De Gea's fault. I've seen a lot of people saying it's Maguire's fault. Having looked at it over and over again, I was a little bit critical of David De Gea at the time. But rewatching it, definitely not Maguire's fault. If you're saying that goal was Maguire's fault, you don't know football. You don't know football. And it's as simple as that. That goal is never on Harry Maguire whatsoever. When it comes to David De Gea, look, I'm not a goalkeeper. I've played in goal before, not very successfully. So I don't know I don't profess to be some sort of expert in the field, but someone who is, and I would say is Ben Foster, and he was very, very defensive of David De Gea, saying no, he couldn't have saved that. It was not on him. He shouldn't be coming to claim that cross when it comes in. And if Ben Foster is saying that, I'm inclined to believe him. So goal not on David De Gea, essentially. When it comes to team news for both sides, this is how Nottingham Forest look. So a couple of key players out for them. Morgan Gibbs-White is out, as is Ryan Yates, with ankle and illness. Dean Henderson, obviously their first choice goalkeeper, obviously was out of the first leg as well. He misses again this game due to the fact he can't play against his parent club because it's only a loan deal. And then finally, they have Chris Wood out, who is cup tied. Now, they do have one or two other players out, but these are kind of the main ones. Awoyai, I believe, is also out, might also be out, actually. But largely, it doesn't matter, does it? I don't even know what lineup we expect to see of Nottingham Forest in this game, because I imagine they probably won't go for it. Coming to Old Trafford, having to score win by 3 goals is a big enough challenge with your first team. So I don't know if they will bother when they've got bigger fish to fry, in a sense. When you look at the Premier League on the weekend, they're in a relegation scrap, really. They're 4 points outside the drop zone. That can easily change. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did see a rotated Nottingham Forest side, which also makes it kind of hard to kind of pinpoint a key player and a formation. Last time, Newcastle have taken a 1-goal lead already, by the way. Sean Longstaff has scored. So Newcastle 1-0 up, 6 minutes into that game. So Newcastle were the team we face in the final. But formation wise, look, the last time that we played them in the cup, they played the 4-3-3, but since then they kind of moved to a 4-3-1-2 with 2 strikers and playing more narrow with the fullbacks, providing the width. So I'll imagine we will see one of those two, but I'm not 100% sure. And Brennan Johnson, I think he's their best player. So I've pinpointed him the key player, but whether or not he actually plays, again, going back to the idea that they may rotate, they may rest in this game, means he might not even feature. When it comes to Manchester United, good news and bad news. Both Anthony Martial and Jadon Sancho are available for selection. That has been confirmed by Erik ten Hag, which is great news for those two. And great news for Manchester United. That squad depth, that depth in that front line is is improving and getting back to what we know it should be and could be. However, we do have some players missing. Scott McTominay, he's out and he's been definitely ruled out. Both Diogo Dalot and Luke Shaw, our first choice fullbacks, there are doubts whether or not they will be able to play or not. Erik ten Hag hasn't ruled them out completely, but he's not also said they're available. While Christian Eriksen is out for the majority of the season now. Same with Donny van der Beek. Eriksen is out until end of April, apparently. Season finishes in May. So Eriksen's essentially out for the rest of the season, which is awful, of course. And look, I've seen a lot of people blaming and slating Ten Hag, saying this is why he should never have played against QPR. No, the reason he got injured against QPR is because Andy Carroll put in a shocking challenge. And it's on Andy Carroll, not on Erik ten Hag. I just find it weird that how people can blame Erik ten Hag for that injury when it's a freak challenge from Carroll. And I still cannot believe he didn't get booked for it. He should have got... I said it on the watch along we did. It should have been a red card. Weren't even booked. Disgrace by the officials. Now, before we get into the team I believe Erik ten Hag will use in this game, please do hit that like button below and subscribe if you are new and you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated and does help to grow this community. I don't know. Sorry if the stream's a bit kind of all over the place. I'm not really sure why it's doing that. Maybe this might help. Fingers crossed it's fine. But yeah, so going into Erik ten Hag's team, this is the team I believe he'll use. So I think he will kind of stay fairly strong. Erik ten Hag has shown he's not a massive use of the squad. He doesn't use the squad massively. He doesn't massively rotate, which makes me believe he will probably stick with a fairly full-strength side. I think we will see a little bit of rotation in there. So Tom Heaton gets a game. Both Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof both getting games. But apart from that, and then obviously Alejandro Garnacho also getting a game. Because I think he will rest Rashford because of how important he is. And Garnacho is kind of ready to step into that first team already. I think he will go fairly full strength, or mainly full strength. Do I think we should? Absolutely not. There's absolutely no need to go this strong, in my opinion. Like I said, I'm not even sure Nottingham Forest will play their first team or their best lineup. So the idea that we will is bizarre to me. I think we should be going a very much rotated side, and this is him I would go with. So mainly majority of the back line remains. I would bring Brandon Williams into right back instead of Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka has played so many minutes at the moment. With Diego Dallo not being back, or potentially not being back for another game week, or at least being fit enough to play against, I believe it's Crystal Palace on the weekend. Yeah, I think this is a good opportunity to rest Wan-Bissaka, use Brandon Williams, and as such. And so I think that just kind of makes sense. And Brandon Williams can play right back. He's done it before. He can do it again. Maguire, Lindelof and Malacia, again, resting both Varane and Martinez for more important games, while also giving them a few minutes in their legs. They're two good centre-backs. They'll be absolutely fine. And Malacia has to play while Luke Shaw is out. Casemiro, I actually would keep him in. McTominay's out. So what else can you really do? I wouldn't want to kind of trust Fred and Mainu as a midfield two straight away. I would start with Casemiro next to Mainu, see how they get on. Second half, then you take Casemiro off for Fred and play Mainu and Fred together. But from the word go, I would like to see Casemiro alongside Mainu. Just that bit of experience, a bit of grit in that midfield, alongside the inexperience of Mainu. And in the front line, I've gone for Palestri on the right and Garnacho on the left. He obviously came on against Reading. Garnacho looked promising. We never really used Palestri, and so I want to see Palestri get used more often. I think he's a good player, Palestri. I want to see him, like I say, get used more and more, because I think he is a very, very good player and a talented player. And I think there's a reason why he started for Uruguay at the World Cup. He's a very good player. Jadon Sancho, I've gone bold. First appearance back in the squad. I've stuck him straight in at number 10. While obviously he's more of a winger than a number 10, I think he can play as a number 10. And there's been a lot of kind of talk about the idea that let's play Jadon Sancho as a 10 this season alongside, with Bruno Fernandes moving back into that number 8 role, kind of where Christian Eriksen plays. And a lot of people have kind of touted the idea of using Sancho as that number 10 to be able to get Anthony, Rashford, Sancho, and Martial all into the same team. And it's an idea I'm not totally opposed to. I think Sancho can play as a number 10. He did it at times at Dortmund. Not loads, obviously, but he did it at times. I think he can play there. And it would be a good opportunity to get him into the team. And then obviously, Weghorst up top. We don't really have any other options. I wouldn't throw Martial straight back in because he's only just returning from injury, which means Weghorst kind of has to play. And look, if Sancho was returning from injury, I wouldn't start him straight away. But because it was kind of a break for himself and his mental state, and not due to injury, I'm absolutely fine with throwing him straight back in. Now, when it comes to this game, look, like I say, I don't care if Manchester United win this game. I don't. As long as we don't lose by more than 2 goals, I don't care how this game ends. I think we will win. Well, we will progress, sorry. I think either side, obviously, if we play Erik ten Hag's team, the team I believe Erik ten Hag will play, we have to win it. We have to win the game, and we definitely have to win it. There's no doubt about that. If we play the team I play, if we lose, we lose. It's a very inexperienced, it's a very rotated side. So if we lose it with that team, I'm not that fussed. But do I think we would lose with that team? Not necessarily. I think there's a lot of quality in that, and I think in key areas, you've got Casemiro, you've got Maguire, Lindelof, you've got Malacia, you've got Sancho, you've got Garnacho, who, like I said, was trusted to start in a must-win game against Real Sociedad. has been used a lot this season. Fulham came up to score a winner. Manchester Derby featured. There's experience in that team. No matter while there's quality in it, despite some of the inexperience in it, and even some of that inexperience, the more inexperienced players like a Garnacho has got a bit of experience under their legs. Again, Palestri has played in a World Cup. This sort of game isn't too much for them. And I think United will win the game, essentially. I do think United will win it. And I am going to go with a 2-0 Manchester United win. We'll go 2-0. But look, that is going to be it from me today. I'll probably be live a little bit later on tonight when the deal? The Marcel Sabitzer deal is officially done and dusted and has gone through. But until that happens, that is going to be it from me today. If you have enjoyed, please do hit that like button below. Subscribe if you are new and you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated. And I'll see you all in the next one in a bit.